What's that?
I said we're live.
We are live.
We're live.
And then you stepped away from the microphone.
Oh, I just slid over a bit. I needed to adjust the angle of my styrofoam head.
Okay.
He was
Just
looking a
at
little
you.
too
Looking a little too
askew.
close.
Have you seen my styrofoam head?
No.
Let
I've
me
not
show
seen
you
your styrofoam head.
Huh?
I've not seen it.
Let me get my styrofoam head.
Yeah.
There's my styrofoam.
Oh,
There's my styrofoam head.
that makes a lot of sense now.
Who's wearing my energy dome?
Your Devo.
My Devo energy
Hat.
dome.
Yeah.
That
That's pretty nice.
I needed to store somewhere. The energy dome does not work well with headphones.
I would imagine not.
No.
Yeah.
I'll have you know, I got this energy dome relatively recently
Uh-huh.
from the official Devo merch store, which is seems down for some reason.
Oh, okay.
But they also include, because it's just a molded, injection molded,
Yeah.
flower pot essentially,
Yeah.
which is not really designed to be worn on a head, but
On a daily basis.
no, but they do give, there are instructions. You buy this is the liner that you would use in a hard hat,
Oh, okay.
and you
Wait, did you have to buy the liner separately?
Yeah, well, this is
Doesn't
a legit,
come with liner?
it does not, no, it does not come with the liner.
Oh,
You supply your own hard
Yeah.
hat.
out of the hard
Interior
hats that you
liner.
have just laying around like everybody does.
Well, they provide an Amazon link,
Oh, okay. Well,
so you pay your $10 or whatever it is,
Oh.
and then you put it inside. You get some gaffer's tape.
uh-huh.
You'll see I got red gaffer's tape to match
did.
the interior,
Yeah.
and then it is. It
perfect.
fits perfectly. I can't
Okay.
hear what you're saying because I had to take my headphones off.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I'm gonna put them back on.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
Now I can hear you again. And
Well, good.
and I'm sure you were saying, Phil, you look lovely
I was
in your Devo Energy Dome.
Yeah. That's nice. Yeah.
And now I'm gonna put it back
yeah.
on my
With a
styrofoam head.
fit. Snug fit there.
There we go. Perfectly sized.
Yes.
And we're just gonna set them here for now.
Excellent. Does the styrofoam head have a name?
Not yet,
Okay.
but maybe we'll take listener suggestions.
I see.
Keep it
All right.
PG-13, folks.
Hello and welcome to episode 926 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, is from the great state of Washington, Phil Theobald.
Considering I haven't been here for the past 3 weeks,
I think it is.
Always
has been
is
3 weeks, right?
perhaps not necessarily.
I'm
active.
just glad to have somebody else here with,
Well, Greg
with me.
Greg is not here. We had to
Greg's not here.
adjust our schedule. The reason we are recording on Saturday this week is because my company picnic is tomorrow during our regular show record time,
Yeah.
and there was the danger that I wouldn't have been on for a month, which
A full month.
I'm sure
away
some people
from
would
podcasting.
very much appreciate. But CJ gets lonely without me.
I do. I
And
don't
who
want
can
to
blame
do a
him?
solo show. People
Exactly.
who've listened to the last 2 shows know that I don't like to do a solo
You
show,
don't.
right?
How much old interview footage do you still have
That was it. That's
hopping
it.
around? You've exhausted it.
That's it. I've exhausted it, yeah.
Oh dear.
I only had the 2 cassettes. And
okay.
basically you heard what was usable.
Oh really? The rest is all.
Yeah. Yeah. So we did the 1999 Sega E3 press conference,
Right.
which apparently Greg was sitting next to me during.
Yes.
Because he heard himself on the tape. And,
Well, I heard he was yelling, "Woo! Go Tom!"
Tom.
What? That was him.
I mean Bernie.
Was it Bernie? Oh,
It
Bernie.
was
I'm
Bernie
sorry.
at that time.
I'm sorry.
And then the David Crane interview that I did was the second one, and then
And that was where
there's-
Greg was going all like, "Pitfall! Woo!"
Phil, let me ask you. You remember the PA system at the Lombard office of EGM?
Oh yeah, where anyone could access it.
Anyone could access it. So we
with a
had these
couple
phones, this
buttons
phone
on
system,
your phone. You
and
could
there were
broadcast anything to the entire office.
the entire office. Yes. So during this interview, which you can hear in the last episode,
So was this interview being conducted from the Lombard office?
it was from the Lombard office. You can hear
Okay.
people using the PA system.
Oh no. Oh dear.
Somebody calls Jim Cordano, like come to the reception area or something like that.
Okay.
And then I heard some kind of jingle or song being played
Oh dear.
on there too.
Okay.
I was like, here I am
Okay.
doing a phone interview,
Right.
and we have to listen to this stuff.
Ugh.
But
At
anyway,
least- At
Let me-
least the worst you heard was some sort of music being played over and not,
yeah.
I mean, it was,
Let me tell you, when you give a bunch of 20-somethings
it was the late 90s.
a run of a PA system at
You had
work,
a bunch of like 21, 22-year-olds at like the oldest
yeah, it
in an office.
yeah,
Yeah.
it becomes a thing.
Yeah.
Usually after 6 p.m., like after the adults have gone home.
That is true.
Although, do you remember? I don't know if you remember this.
What's that?
We got in trouble once
Oh.
because the lawyer for Sendai was still at the office late.
Oh dear.
And somebody said something offensive over the PA.
Oh dear.
And yeah, he had to basically, he went on the PA and was like, look, children, stop it. Which was funny.
There's still a grown-up in the building. Please stop.
There's still a grown-up in the building. Stop this.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
If we had an HR department, there'd be so much trouble right now.
Exactly. There was
Ugh.
no HR department.
No.
This was before that time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Phil, I'm happy that you're back.
I am back.
Hopefully rested, ready to podcast, ready
Better
to
than
talk
ever.
about some of the news stories that happened over the last 3 weeks.
Yes.
And we'll talk about them in order of your interest, Phil.
In order of,
Prob-
of relative interest to Phil.
Relative interest to Phil.
Because although Greg is not currently here,
Yeah. He should
There's
be
a-
joining at some
he
point.
should hopefully be joining, hopefully sooner than later. He is
Yeah.
en route back to his home from some sort of sporting event with his children.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll just go ahead and light it up with this one, that the
Okay.
Goemon spiritual successor
Oh my
Bakeru
gosh.
is coming to the West. And this was announced like the day after we did our last episode all together, I think.
Yes.
And a free demo of it is available on Switch right now.
What
Yeah.
a true shocker indeed.
A true shocker that this is available in the West. And I believe it comes out September 3rd. So we're pretty
Wow, it's
close.
that close, huh?
Yeah, we're pretty close
Oh,
to that
goodness.
release.
So I bought.
I
I've talked
assumed
about-
you owned it already.
I do own the physical Japanese release of this game.
Mhm.
I talked about it briefly when it first came out.
Yeah.
I bought it, and I will admit, I have not played it too much farther than where I was,
Yeah.
just because, I get distracted. Yeah, I get distracted by games. Very.
Who
easily.
doesn't?
I know.
Who doesn't?
I know.
I do that too.
And I'll be honest, the fact that it's relatively text heavy and it's all in Japanese,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not in like a super big rush
Yeah.
to dive back into it.
Yeah.
Because now that I have the technology that allows me to do it, a lot of the times I'm sitting there with Google Translate, holding my phone up to the screen,
Yeah.
getting a rough translations of everything that's being said. So now that
Very
it's
rough.
playable in English,
Yeah. Got a made in the shade. Let's hope they
Sign
didn't use
me up.
Google Translate for that translation. I don't think they did though. I played a little bit of the Switch demo, and
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Good.
It's going to be good. But yeah, it is a very it's a game rooted in like Japanese culture and history as well, because
Yes.
you are visiting the prefectures of Japan
Yes.
in the game.
Much much like the Goemon games.
Oh, really? I guess I haven't really played very many Goemon games.
Have you not played Goemon? Did
I
you
don't
not
think
play like
so.
Legend
No.
of the Mystical Ninja?
No, I didn't play
Oh
it.
my gosh. No, they're all very much set in Japan. You're very much traveling around. Like they'll show you a map of Japan and they'll show you where,
Okay.
now we're in Hokkaido. Oh, now we're going to Okinawa, you're bopping all around Japan.
Okay.
A lot of the times it's set in like specific, like, oh, we're in the Edo period, and
Yeah.
very, very much rooted in Japan and Japanese history. So
Japan culture. Yeah.
yes.
So this is developed by Goodfeel, who did Yoshi's Woolly World, Yoshi's Crafted World, Kirby's Epic Yarn. So,
Yep.
and yeah, it's a 3D action game.
Yes.
I imagine it has mini games as well. But yeah, I didn't play too far into the demo.
Yeah.
They have like a little story scene, and then they spit you out into an action sequence in the demo. So
Okay.
yeah, it seemed cool.
Well, I will definitely buy it.
I had no doubt.
Yeah, of course.
No doubt.
This also smacks of something that Limited Run is going to do a physical release of at some point.
Maybe so.
Which
Yeah,
I-
maybe.
I will be 0% surprised if and when they do that. I will, of course, buy the American physical release
Yes.
as well.
Yes. Although, yeah, I guess has Spike Chunsoft worked with Limited Run before?
I do not know.
Whoever does physical with Spike Chunsoft is pretty likely to do it again.
Yeah.
So
So I don't know, but oh my gosh, there he is.
Hello.
It's Canada's own Greg Seward.
That's right.
In case you
Yeah.
couldn't tell by the giant maple leaf on his shoulder.
excellent.
And the giant map of I don't know where this is. Ontario, Quebec,
You don't know where it is.
Resolution Island,
Wow.
Where's Resolution Island?
Mont d'Iberville. I don't know how you say that.
Wow.
I don't know.
Okay.
Do people
Why? That's
Canada
why I bought
thing.
the shirts so I could use the map.
do people on
That's why it took
Resolution
you so
Island-
long to get home. You're
That's
using your
right.
shirt.
I
Yeah.
had to keep turning the cabin light on to read my shirt.
Oh,
People on
Terrible.
Resolution Island are constantly getting stoned and making high res jokes.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope, not going with you on that one.
Come
All
on.
Hmm.
The sports all went well, Greg?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was
Good.
Three games today that went really long. So
I
Okay.
see. Well, more importantly, how did LI Retro go?
it went really well. Do we want to talk about that now, or when we get into what you've been playing?
I
You guys
guess
are
we
still
can
doing news, right?
we could talk about it in what you've been playing.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
What you been attending?
What you been attending?
The
Yeah.
connection is really bad. I
Oh,
don't know if
really?
You guys are noticing that, but
And,
No, we are not.
we
keep
are
going.
not.
You look lovely. You sound great.
oh, thanks.
That's right. Well,
We were
here's-
just talking about that fake Goemon game that's coming out here in the West.
and there's a demo on Switch.
Oh,
Yeah,
Greg don't care.
Greg
I don't know-
cares.
I don't know anything about it.
Greg don't care.
Well, hey, maybe Greg will care about this, but I know Phil will because Tango
that?
GameWorks has been acquired by Krafton
Yes,
and is going to
The-
remain
The macaroni
open.
and cheese people?
that's the
No.
one. Well, you know them as the craft dinner people.
Yeah, I
The,
was gonna
pub,
say.
the PUBG and Callisto Protocol people.
Oh,
It's all the same company.
It's all the
Okay.
same company.
Callisto and
uh,
cheese.
The acquisition includes the rights to Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh.
Not only that, the studio is basically saying they're going to work on Hi-Fi Rush too.
Good.
They're not
Yeah.
saying they're going to release it; just they're going to work on it.
They're going to work on it.
I mean, they've been working on Beyond Good and Evil too as well. So
Well,
Mm.
sure they have.
I'm very
That's
excited
Ubisoft.
about this news.
Me too. I didn't think it was going to happen. I was very pleased.
I could imagine
To
you'd be
see.
pleased. I mean, I know you loved Hi-Fi Rush, a game you definitely played and finished.
Nope. Didn't.
Yeah, that's what
I did
thought.
play it though. I played it.
Yeah. Okay.
Now on 2 platforms,
My goodness.
PS5 and Xbox.
My goodness.
Didn't finish it though.
Jeez.
Yeah. But hey,
Yeah.
Hi-Fi Rush 2 could
Very
happen.
excited.
Yeah. So glad to see this studio revived.
Yes.
Crafton. So that PUBG money doing something good. Did you guys watch the Nintendo Museum Direct, by the way?
I did.
I did not.
What'd you think? So what are your thoughts?
I think it looks rad.
I think it looks pretty rad too.
I'm all for it. I wish I mean,
Yeah.
I understand why it's in Japan.
Yes.
It-
And also, if something like this was in the US, it would be trashed and demolished within
Yeah, that's also true. That's
a
that's
few weeks.
I guess that is the unspoken.
I mean, they showed in the video, they showed Miyamoto like playing with like big versions of the
Yeah, they have
controllers.
the gigantic, like an
Gigantic
NES controller
NES.
that's like the size of a table.
Yeah, and I was just like, that you couldn't do that in the US. It would
No,
be
that
broken
thing would be-
immediately.
Clogged with gum,
Yep.
if we're lucky.
You guys have such low opinions of your countrymen.
Are we wrong though?
Have you
No, but I'm just saying,
You've
I'm
been to
surprised
this
to hear it from a
country.
couple of Yankees.
right?
You sound like Canadians right now.
Oh my goodness.
There you go. But they also showed like the little baseball thing that I forget what the name of the ultra
The Ultra Ball?
the ultra ball.
No,
Yeah.
Ultra Hand is the
Ultra hand is different.
that's the Ultra Hand. That's the little grabby hand.
Yeah.
Yes, the little pitching machine.
Little pitching machine, and they have set up like little rooms to look like family rooms of the era that this was released, which is mid
Oh, it's
70s.
the Ultra Machine.
The ultra machine, and that was pretty cool.
Yes.
But again, it's gonna be it would be trashed immediately,
Oh yeah.
and who knows? Maybe it'll be trashed.
Is it like
soon after.
really what the 70s look like, or is it what the internet thinks the 70s look like?
No, it seems to be
Because
what
I feel like all those eras didn't look at all the way the internet thinks they looked.
My room in the 80s was definitely full of neon signs and framed back to the
Everybody
future
lived in
posters.
silver
Yeah.
spoons.
Yeah.
But I think it looks great, and I would like to see more. I would love to see behind the scenes stuff of like the making of Super Mario Brothers, those early NES games.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know if you remember this in Nintendo Power, they had like pictures of the sprite sheets they were using to make Mario.
Oh yeah, I
3.
do remember that.
And I was like, damn, if we could like see
Yeah.
those, that'd be
Although,
super rad.
Pictures of like young Shigeru Miyamoto like sitting around smoking while he's like coloring graph paper with little pixels and stuff.
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
hey,
know
it
if they're
looks
gonna.
cool.
I don't know if they're gonna get into that sort of detail. It would
Maybe
be great
not.
if they did,
It would be fantastic if they did.
but
Yeah, I guess next time I'm in Japan, I got to go down to Kyoto and check out the Nintendo Museum.
yep,
Yeah. Well, anyway,
yes.
did you see this? Amazon is doing a series called Secret Level. It's a 15 episode series, an anthology series where they're taking different video games and making sort of one shot episodes out of
A
them.
modern day Saturday Supercade.
A modern day Saturday Supercade.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
what's the? Are they like documentaries or?
No,
They're stories from within the
original
worlds
stories.
of these games.
That's
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Yeah, so games like Armored Core, let me see, Mega Man.
Yep.
I'm
heard
trying
of
to
Mega
hit
Man.
I'm trying to hit the games that we know or care or care about.
Pac-Man's one.
Pac-Man is one, yes. Spelunky, The Outer Worlds.
Fake
And
Overwatch.
no, come on. It's not fake Overwatch. You mean Concord? The game that Sony.
Oh, be careful! I've heard that the developer doesn't like you making fun of that game.
The developer.
Yeah, isn't it?
What?
I literally just saw something as I was connecting about how there's some kind of controversy that one of the developers or publisher or something lashed out against fans.
That's not a good look. I mean,
No, it's never a good look. As much as they might even deserve it.
You shouldn't engage the trolls
And for what it's worth,
on the internet.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, so
Well,
maybe they wouldn't lash
you're
out
not
at you
a fan.
anyway.
Yeah. But I've also
Yeah,
not played it,
Concord.
so I can't say.
Clearly, Sony thought Concord was going to be big, and guess what? It's not. So this 15 episode series starts in December, on December 10th. So you can look forward to that. The little teaser trailer they have shows like clips of the different episodes, and the Mega Man thing looks kind of neat. And they have like a bit split second of Pac-Man, and I wonder what that's going to be like. Yeah, I haven't seen any of this director's other like stuff, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah,
but I don't know how I feel about it, because like the Mega Man one specifically is certainly the one that I would be most interested in.
Yes,
they're going. I mean, the whole thing.
They're going hyper real CG.
They're and like kind of dark and gritty looking.
Yeah,
just like Pac-Man.
Yeah, just like Mega Man.
Yeah,
and so
maybe it's the Game Boy Mega Man that they're basing it on.
Mega Man Extreme.
No, like the old pea green Mega Man, the terrible Mega Man's games than the original Game Boy.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping for the best, but right now I got my skepticals on. I'll be honest.
Your skepticals?
My skepticals.
I see.
But
well, we'll see.
Hopefully it's good.
Give it the benefit.
Obviously, I'm
going to
watch it.
You can skip the Concord episode if you want.
Actually, I'd probably skip. If I'm going to skip any, I mean, there was a few games in there that I was just like, I don't even know what these are.
Like a Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to
skip that.
Yeah, I don't care about Warhammer.
Yeah, Honor of Kings. Yeah, New World. That's an Amazon published game. So.
So of course, yes, of course,
that's in there.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't try and sneak like there's a video game based on Stranger Things, so here's a Stranger Things short.
Well, that's Netflix, though.
Oh wait, no, this is
Amazon.
Talking
about Prime Video.
This is Amazon. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm getting my.
You mean like Rings of Power?
I'm getting there we go. I'm getting my streaming conglomerate.
Oh, that's back. I think this week.
Yeah, season 2.
I'm excited about it. Actually,
nah, really, I'm not. I watched like 2 episodes of that and never turned it on.
We finished we finished Rings of Power and really enjoyed it. So yeah,
it was
all right.
It was fine.
Didn't really have a conclusion.
Well, I mean,
didn't really have much going there, but at the end, oh well. Indiana Jones: The Great Circle is coming to PlayStation 5.
There it is.
Crazy.
So it comes out on Xbox in December, and then it's coming to PlayStation 5 in the spring.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're an Xbox owner, you still get it early.
Yep.
Still get it first. But
you still get it free on Game Pass.
Still get it free on Game Pass, yeah.
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 Because I'm guessing
I'll be playing it, but
that's where I'll be playing it too.
This is a big deal because isn't this like the big Xbox game this year?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. It's the big Xbox game. Although, hey, a December release. I don't know. Past award season. You're not going to be eligible for a Keeley that way. You may as well just delay it to January and then be on everybody's mind for game of the year.
Next Keeley.
Yeah. But anyway, that game continues to look great, and a lot of the impressions coming out of Gamescom were very positive. So,
good.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Here's one that Greg might enjoy. Macross Shooting Insight is getting a Western release also in December. So it's going to be released physically and digitally. And it has some new things for the Western release, including new difficulty settings, different continues setup and some control improvements as well. So Macross Shooting Insight came out last spring on
I remember
various
seeing the
platforms
trailers for it.
in Japan.
Hmm.
And it's sort of a time twisting tale where they bring in all the different Macross series.
Yeah.
So no matter which Macross you like Macross the original, you like Macross Plus, you like Macross 7, it's all in there.
Or Macross Frontier or Macross Delta.
Oh,
Well,
So,
sure.
but actually, I think from the description here, it doesn't actually include the original Macross.
It does.
Well, not based on this description.
It does, though.
Okay.
Because Lin Min Mei is in there.
Okay. Well, I think she was in some of these other series.
Well,
anyway,
maybe.
Either way, I don't care. I'll be buying this. I might even buy this physically.
Ooh.
It is coming out physical, yeah. And they're doing like a collector's edition, in fact. It comes in a steel case with a soundtrack
I might actually
CD.
have to do that.
They're kind of like rolling out the red carpet for this, which kind of surprising, but very cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at the screenshots though, and there's not one original Macross screenshot on here.
Oh, there isn't?
So I don't believe that it includes the original. I don't care. I'm still going to get
Maybe.
it, but
Maybe.
yeah.
Well, I think this comes to our last news story. Yeah. Way Forward is doing a retro side-scrolling action games based upon Halloween and Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Interesting.
Okay.
So they're doing 16-bit style platformers based on that, and they're coming out at the same time, and there's going to be some kind of connection between the two, so that if you own both,
Neat.
there's a crossover that happens, which is
Okay.
pretty interesting. Yeah. So apparently this is the start of a new series called Retro Realms that'll be developed by Boss Team Games and Way Forward. So Boss Team Games did the Evil Dead asymmetrical horror game
Oh,
not too
okay.
long ago. So yeah, but these are 16-bit style platform games, action platform games using these licenses. And the trailer looks pretty cool. So kind of excited.
I'm for it.
Yeah. So each game's gonna be $25, or you can get a 2-in-1 for $50.
What a savings.
What a savings!
A bargain at twice the price.
Yeah. But hey, that's cool. I'm down.
Yeah,
Like grab
I'll
Thar's hammer.
play those.
I might wait. Well, I might wait for review scores, but if as long as it's over 70, I'll buy it. And it probably will be over 70, right?
Hopefully.
What? Oh, I thought you meant over $70. I'm like, you're
Over
You're
a
not gonna buy it if
Metacritic of
it's
70.
cheaper?
No.
My brain didn't go.
I
there.
understood what you meant.
I
Yes.
was only half listening. So
Oh, okay. Okay.
as
Fair enough.
usual.
What? Which reminds me, did you listen to the last two episodes, Greg?
No, but I heard we're replacing Phil with a new guest host.
Oh yeah. Well, the last bonus episode that I did for the patrons
Yeah.
was myself and my daughter Charlie, and we did an episode of the podcast together. We talked about the news, so the news that she would be able to
Oh.
get excited about.
All the news that was you
All the
you
latest
fixed all the news.
TikToks.
We talked about Famicom Detective Club, MEO the Smiling Man, which comes
yes,
out
yes.
this week. And we talked about the new Zelda trailer, Echoes of Wisdom, that got revealed a week or two ago at this point. Yeah, very, very good stuff.
As for the episodes, I did listen to the Dreamcast episode. I just haven't had a chance to listen to the most recent one.
Okay. Sounds good. Anyway, well, that's all the news that I had picked out. So we can hop right into
Wonderful news.
what we've been played. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Phil, why don't you kick us off?
Oh goodness. good news for people who hate me talking about Yakuza / Like a Dragon.
Yeah.
You finished all of
Infinite
them?
Wealth.
Did you?
I did.
All right.
Last night,
Damn.
132 hours deep,
Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I finished Like
That's
a
a lot of
Dragon
hours.
Infinite Wealth, thus concluding the Ichiban saga for now.
For now, yeah.
So
Don't they have like some broadcast coming up, and then they are announcing a new game at Tokyo
they're
Game
supposed
Show.
to be announcing the next what happens in the Like a Dragon universe. We will see.
Yep.
But boy, oh boy, what a treat!
Yeah.
What a treat! I've pretty much come to terms with the fact that you're never going to play that game again, CJ.
Me? No,
Yeah.
I will play it again.
You never will.
No, that's not true.
How long has
will.
it been? And be honest. And I know you're going to have to think about this. How long has it been since you last played Infinite Wealth?
Oh, like a month.
Exactly. You're never going back.
That's
You're
not
too
true.
far out.
That's not true.
That is 100% true.
Maybe.
If I were a betting man, I would place a wager
I mean,
on the-
hey,
on the fact that you will never load up that game again.
I'll load it up again.
There's too much coming out. We got Wars
There is too
Outlaws.
much coming out.
we got
That is
There's way too much coming
Astrobots.
out.
We got your Smiling Man is coming out.
Yeah.
I know you're playing that.
Star Wars Outlaws.
That was the
Plucky
first,
Squire.
literally the first one I said.
I didn't hear it.
No, I didn't think so. You got
Clearly.
Indiana Jones.
Echoes of Wisdom.
You got Echoes
Well, I
of
mean,
Wisdom.
you can wait till next year to play Indiana Jones on the PS5.
That's true.
We have your ever-present Sea of Thieves. We have your new
Wow.
love, Conquered.
Yep.
So you will never ever. And you were how far into Infinite Wealth were you? 10 hours maybe?
Yeah. I had just gotten
Yeah.
to a little bit further than just getting to Hawaii.
Yeah.
But
You're never going to be diving back in for. You're never going to say, well, time to polish off the final 120 hours.
Well, let's be clear. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have, gotten that as deep into it as
You
you
wouldn't
did.
have been
I
as
probably wouldn't
thorough?
have spent as much time with it as you did.
As me.
Probably not.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I did get as thorough as me.
Yeah.
I can't help it. I always do.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it's wonderful. It was really good.
Yeah.
Absolutely adored it. Ichiban, just the best video game character ever. And again, I don't want to
spoil.
talk too much about the plot details and such,
Yeah.
because there is a chance, be it ever so slight, that you might one day
Chance.
pick up that game. You won't, but there's a chance.
You say this, but I finished Like a Dragon.
You absolutely
and
did.
I finished The Man Who Erased His Name. So,
You absolutely did.
Yeah.
And you did that straight through.
I did.
You didn't take a month off in the middle of it. And I know what
did.
that means. Taking a month off from a game.
Well, I'll
is-
tell you what. I
Oh.
actually did. So, Like a Dragon, I did
Uh-huh.
start that, and then
Uh-huh.
I took a year or two
Okay, now
off,
that's
off
now
of
that's
that and then
different.
finished it.
that's different though. Okay. Will you pick up Infinite Wealth in say 2027? Maybe. Maybe 2027 is going to be a relatively slow year for new releases.
Possible.
Maybe
Yeah.
there's not that much exciting coming.
I gotta be in the
Maybe
mood
that's when
for
you
it.
say,
I gotta be in the mood for it. You know?
Oh, I think I'll go back and see what old Ichiban's up to. I know we're on like the fourth game in that series now, but I'll go back and revisit
sure.
Hawaii.
That's right.
So I don't want to get into plot details, but
What I love is that you started this whole segment with good news for people who don't like listening to me talk about Yakuza forever.
Well-
And the segment's been about 45 minutes long.
True.
So
well, the idea is will be the last time
Mhm.
until 2027 at the earliest,
when CJ starts to pick the game
when
up
CJ
again.
picks it up and I can
Yeah.
reminisce back on my younger days
Yeah.
and say, "Oh,
Back in your
those
40s.
simpler times." Back when I was a sprightly young lad of 49.
Ah,
But it was great. And I'll say this. I was recently in Hawaii,
uh-huh.
in
And you found out the whole
Honolulu,
game's
the
just a big
city
lie.
in which Infinite Wealth is set.
Mm-hmm. And it's like you already knew the layout, the map, right?
It blew my mind. I mean, the Honolulu in the game,
Mm-hmm.
I very quickly discovered is truncated. It's like
Really?
it's like someone put Honolulu in one of those like vacuum bags where you store your winter clothes,
Or your
and then you put the
squishmallows?
vacuum on and it kind of gets sucked in so you can store it neatly under your bed.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like Honolulu with all the empty space sucked out.
Okay.
But like we land at the airport and we're in a Lyft ride share vehicle, a Lyft brand.
Please
Ride
tell me you're
share
telling
vehicle. I like
the
when
driver like it
I
shouldn't
love when
take this
CJ
long to get to the center of town.
I love that when CJ laughs, the
Yeah.
whole room shakes.
That's right.
And
there
we're
something wrong with
driving
that?
to the hotel.
Uh-huh.
And I'm looking out the window, and I'm looking at the shore, because Honolulu, it's right on the ocean. I don't know if you are familiar with the map,
Jesus
Uh-huh.
Christ.
but it's right.
Yeah.
It's on the Pacific Ocean there.
Uh-huh.
And I start seeing this park. I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks just like the park in the game that's across from the mall. And then I look, and oh my god, there's the mall.
Yeah.
There's the mall you're in all the time.
So
it's
do
like,
you
oh, here's that little
hop
bridge
out
over
and
the
start
canal.
making friends with everybody?
I was
and
going around, aloha,
solving their problems.
aloha.
Yeah.
Yep. If
good.
I saw
Like
what
arcades.
looked like someone bullying someone up
Yeah.
against the side of a building, I'd go up and start a fight.
Oh, well, you have to.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
Got to defend.
But then you imagine that they are in nothing but trash bags and
Absolutely.
throwing things
I
at
pictured
you.
myself in a suit of armor.
That's right. You
They
have
wouldn't
to.
let me on the plane with my bat, so I had to buy a new bat once I got there.
Yeah, well, that's understandable. You got to start at level 0 when you get to a new
Oh, well, that's just it, right?
country, new
Yeah.
place.
No, this was not a new game plus.
Right.
Your life isn't a new game plus, gamers.
No?
That's deeply philosophical.
Amazing. It's amazing.
The we were driving around town doing some work, and I started cackling like a lunatic.
It started.
Greg's playing his game there. What are you playing on there, Greg?
Switch.
He's playing on a Switch. Are you playing the Nintendo NES Championships?
No.
No, I didn't
You're just
spend
playing
any money
the
on that.
regular game.
Yeah.
The in the game,
Yeah.
you know, there's the beach.
Yeah.
And like right at the edge, like on the far east end of the map, right outside the beach, there's a I think it's an Oahu burger.
Uh-huh.
It's a little fast food burger joint.
Yeah.
In IRL life, that's a McDonald's.
Oh, wow.
And I
Huh.
saw that and I started cracking up. I was like, we're on the right side of the map. I've never progressed this far in Honolulu before.
Now, did you run into the ocean and be like, where's my dolphin? I need to get to Doko Island.
Yeah, I couldn't get to Dondoko Island.
Oh, well.
No matter how many dolphins I assaulted,
You attempted to
I
ride.
just
Jesus.
the police just got very angry at me, and I said, "No, you must understand.
You worked in the video game.
I'm just trying to ride them to get to my secret island.
Yes.
I have to turn it into a 5-star resort. You don't understand." And then my boss was very angry because I was clearly spending too much time doing Sega work and not paying attention to my actual job.
Oh, there you go.
No, but it was I loved it. Loved it. So
Cool.
you should you know what, maybe you should play that game sometime. TJ,
Maybe
then we
I
can
will.
talk about it.
Maybe I will.
Yes. we could kick Greg off the show for good because he is a killjoy
Yep.
who dislikes happiness,
I'm just looking out for the listeners.
who has no interest in true friendship, the likes of which Kasuga Ichiban inspires in all those around him.
Yeah.
I got a little teary-eyed during the ending. I'll admit it.
Okay. Yeah.
It wasn't the first time in that game I got teary-eyed. Look at Greg rolling his eyes.
No, it's for something else. It wasn't for you.
Okay. I'm so used to it being for me, though. And
I
now
don't
he's
believe
gone.
that for a second, though.
Now he's gone. Anyway.
Oh, yes, let's move.
I finished Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and I'm
Excellent.
so happy.
Excellent.
The other game, what I done did played this these past 3 weeks. I picked up a game called Thank Goodness You're Here.
Aha. Yes.
And you've played this game, yes?
I played the demo of it.
You played
during
the demo.
Steam Next Fest, and I did quite enjoy it. Yeah.
Thank Goodness You're Here.
A slapformer.
They call it a slapformer. It is an odd little adventure game. I'm talking about Thank Goodness You're Here, Greg.
Thanks. It's nice to be appreciated.
Well, that's exactly it, right? So this game is available on the Nintendo Switch. It's available on the PS5.
Yeah.
It's available on Steam. Is it on Xbox?
I'm not sure.
I don't know if it is.
Hmm.
It might be on the Epic Game Store. I don't know.
Okay.
But it's available
You-
on multiple platforms. And
You
yes,
got it on Switch, right?
Wait, here's the thing. I played it on Switch,
Yeah.
and I may have enjoyed it so much that I may have also bought it on PS5 and Steam. But
Oh,
let's
whoa.
not worry about
Wow.
that right now.
Wow. Okay.
I'm rewarding these developers for creating something so wonderful.
Now I'm rolling my eyes at you.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah.
So this game, it's a little kind of an adventure game, sort of, where it takes place in a small British town. This game is so British.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness. It is. You have the option to have all the text because it has subtitles, and I guess you can have the subtitles set to be in like British dialect. So it's to someone like myself, born and raised in the U.S. of America, it's incomprehensible.
Hmm.
But it's hilarious, and I also found it very funny that the subtitles actually kind of translate some things, because like a character will be talking about like, I just nicked this from the store,
Yeah.
but the subtitles say I stole it from the store, that kind of thing.
That's great. That's great.
It's very funny.
Huh.
But yes, you control a little man with a tiny yellow sort of lemony shaped head, and he's going around this town. He's trying to meet with the mayor, but the mayor's busy, so he goes out into the town, and you just explore this odd little town filled with odd citizens. And the only thing you can jump and you can slap, and that's your main way to interact with things, is by slapping stuff. And you just wander through this town. You're constantly like finding little routes that backtrack into previous areas and stuff. Just learning who all the citizens are, all of the ways they interact with each other throughout their days.
Mm-hmm.
It is so odd and so silly, and so it feels like it's got the vibes of like an Adult Swim cartoon, and it kind of looks like that. It has that. The art style
Oh yeah.
is very much like a Cartoon Network or an Adult Swim
Ed
animated series.
Yep.
And it's all fully voiced. Matt Berry's in it. Everyone loves Matt Berry,
Everyone does love Matt Berry.
It's
and
true.
not without
Good reason.
'cause
Yeah.
Matt Berry is wonderful. He's in it. And it's just so bizarre and silly. And yes, the deeper you get into it, because at first, it's one of those things where at first you start playing it and you don't really get what's happening. You don't really understand what am I supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like I'm just kind of doing random things. But the further along you go, the deeper into it you get, things start to kind of fall into place, and you start to realize, oh, this character keeps showing up in various situations, and oh, they're interacting like this, and it starts to make more sense as you go.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always very, very odd and askew and weird and funny as, and I am absolutely adoring it.
Nice.
Just
Well, it's not very long either. It's like 3 hours.
is it
Long
not
or
that
so?
I admittedly have not finished it yet,
Oh, okay.
just because I'm just
Yeah, I've heard it's not that long of a game.
it,
but
it doesn't surprise me.
you know.
It seems like something that would be relatively short,
Yeah.
but I have found myself just kind of like
Loving
honestly
it.
starting other versions just to like see some of the old gags and stuff like that from early
Okay.
in the game.
All right.
But oh my gosh, it's a treat,
Hmm.
and I absolutely love it. It is so
Nice.
up my alley.
You're not the first person I've heard to sing that game's praises.
Yeah.
I was seeing a bunch of people on my social media feeds going crazy about it a couple weeks ago.
Well, and
Yeah.
the demo was great. So
Yeah, it's worth checking out. It feels like kind of the vibes I got from it, and Greg, you will understand this.
Panic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the old Sega CD game Panic,
Hmm.
which was called Switch in Japan. If that game had more of a story, more of a overarching plot,
Yeah.
that's what it feels like. Yeah, that's kind of
okay.
Just watching the trailer, that was exactly where my mind went.
yeah.
That's cool.
So, yep, definitely worth something checking out if you are in the mood for some very silly, very, very funny British humor. So,
I'm down.
but yeah, that's the bulk of what I've been playing.
All right.
Because I've been very busy doing work stuff for the past like week and a half.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's it.
Alrighty. Well, I've been playing some video games too.
Oh.
I even finished one.
Oh my gosh. Was it Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth?
No, it was not.
Wow.
No.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Sorry to say. No, but it is Mini Shoot Adventures.
Oh.
I finished it.
This is the little kind of Zelda-y game, right?
Yeah, this is very top-down Zelda-y, although you're like a little ship, and it's like a twin-stick shooter, really, but it feels like a Zelda game. And yeah, I finished it on normal difficulty, and it is a bit of a bullet hell game, but luckily there are some power-ups that you can get to increase your ship's movement, and there are these boosts you can get to like slow down time as well, so you can pretty easily avoid the bullets in this. I found it much easier, and because it's a twin stick shooter and you're not just going you're not just using the left joystick to move, I found it somewhat easier to avoid the bullets. But yeah, I really enjoyed the hell out of it. I ended up being way overpowered for the final boss.
Perfect. Really?
Just because I had been enjoying it so much and just kind of like clearing out all of the areas of the map. And just really, really loving it. And there's still more to it that I could go back and do. I didn't get everything yet, but I just really enjoy this game so much. It felt so much like old school Zelda, but it's like every little screen you go to has something, some secret to it, or some cavern that if you go down there. There'll be like a cave system with like races where you're racing a little ship sprite around this obstacle course. There'll be like areas where you need to like find different entrances to the same cave and like destroy the walls to get to like it's just great. It's just absolutely fantastic, and I wish more people would play this game. And it is only out on Steam at the moment. I'm sure it'll come to Switch and probably other platforms as well.
It's not been officially announced or anything.
No, no, but it is fantastic. I'm talking about Mini Shoot Adventures, and it is a Zelda style game, top down shooter. It's fantastic, and this is going to be on my game of the year list. Spoiler alert! It's definitely going to be up there.
Okay.
So, and I've also been playing Concord. Oh, poor Concord.
I heard that game's bad.
It's not a bad game. It is a good shooter that you have to pay $40 to play. It's not a free to play game. And I think I mean Sony kind of botched the initial reveal of it. And people started making comparisons to Overwatch, and why play this when I could be playing other free-to-play shooters? And yeah, sure, but this is like a really well-made, team-based online multiplayer game that doesn't have a free-to-play store, is not like upcharging you on little things. It's just rather refreshing to see this type of game. And after years of when are we going to get out of this free to play hell, like I wish we would go back to the time where you just paid a price for a game and that was all you had to worry about. And now people are so against this freaking game and want it to be free to play. It's like, what are you saying? What are we doing here? I really like the game though. I think it's really well designed. I think all of the little things that they've done to kind of expand the world and the universe of the game with lore, and they've been doing these little animated shorts that I think are really damn good, and they don't look cheap either.
Yeah.
It's like Sony had the confidence in that this game was going to be big, so they greenlit all this stuff, and well, it's not doing so well. At least on Steam, it's not doing so well. But I think it's great. I think it has like it has a really interesting battle system. So it is a team-based shooter. There's something like 16 characters to choose from, and it's sort of, they want you to switch characters between rounds and between respawns. And you get buffs each time you switch to a different character. You get a different buff. So it ends up being almost like, dare I say it, a roguelike progression where you can like give yourself and your team different buffs throughout a match. And I find that very, very interesting, and it's very different. And it really focuses on team combat as well. Like if you go 1v1, if you try to 1v3 people, you're going to lose probably. It's not going to be possible. You really have to like group up and move around the map together as a team if you want to survive. And I just think it's a really refreshing game. And I'm not the only one, because our good friend Ethan, I saw his account was level 22 in Concord. So he's been playing it. And yeah, it is a breath of fresh air, because it's a live service game, but it is not a free to play game. It is not trying to nickel and dime you. There's no battle pass or anything like that. It's just a fun old school shooter that I wish wasn't so maligned, but here we are. People equated it to Overwatch or Guardians of the Galaxy clone, and that's all they're going to see from this game, even though Man, I wish they would. I wish we could go back and redo that announcement. Like Sony a week and a half ago released a video where the developers talk about how unique and different Concord is, and it's like you should have led with that video
Yeah.
instead, because the way that they did it, it was so very like they knew they had a winning IP, so we're just going to show you this cinematic trailer as if this game had been around for years and people loved it, and it fell so flat. But the game is good. And yeah, they're not going to switch it to free to play immediately because guess what? They don't have anything to sell you. They're not going to hit a button and turn it free to play when they don't have anything to sell you. But what I imagine what they'll end up doing is you'll see it on discount and you'll see it land on like PlayStation Plus trials. You'll get like a 2 to 4 hour trial of it, hopefully, and hopefully Sony can kind of work its magic and try to eke something out of this. But I really enjoy it. I think it's a great game, and I'm enjoying all the modes. It has team deathmatch and kill confirmed style deathmatch, where you have to pick up a little sigil of the character you killed for it to actually count. Then they have sort of a territory control mode, like old Halo, King of the Hill style stuff, which is great fun.
Can you snipe Chris Boyer in it?
Probably.
Yeah.
And they have extraction based gameplay modes as well, where you have to collect an item and then extract with it. And I think it's really a lot of fun. And a lot of the characters are fun to play. And like I said, you switch characters during a match, you get certain buffs, and that is very different from a lot of shooters out there. You're not pushing a payload like Overwatch, none of that. So I wish more people would give it a shot, but hey, they're not. So I'll just have fun with it, I guess. And that's all I've really been playing. So I'm looking forward to Star Wars Outlaws.
Star
me too.
Yeah.
Nothing
really.
but Star Wars.
And also Astrobot, which, by the way, did you guys get your Astrobot DualSense? I pre-ordered mine from PlayStation.
Sure did.
Direct.
I feel like I've been home for a grand total of about 48 hours this month, and none of those hours are when I could pre-order that thing. So no, I didn't.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to Astrobot a whole lot.
Me too.
Yeah. All right, Greg.
Hi.
You want to talk about what you've been attending?
Well, I mean, for what I've been playing,
Yeah.
I've been playing more Paper Mario. I finally became the champion in the Glitz pit for the second time. And now I've moved on to I forget the name of it, but the little like spooky land.
Yeah.
So I've been playing a little bit of that. I really need to wrap that up now because we're now
really
up against all these games coming out, but
yeah,
I just haven't had the chance. Also, the Gran Turismo 7 Player One Podcast Racing League had its second race of the season last week, and I ended up winning that. So
very nice.
Pretty proud of that. But this month has been crazy busy, and I started the month off because I have been gone for the last couple of weeks as well. I didn't go anywhere as cool as Hawaii. No offense to Long Island, but I didn't go anywhere.
Hawaii was not cool at all. It was actually super
really warm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went to Long Island Retro in Long Island.
Nice.
And actually hung out with Seabake there for a little while.
Oh yeah.
Show Seabake.
How's Seabake doing?
Good. It was
Good.
fun. It was really nice to see him again. I haven't seen him in. I don't remember the last time I saw him. I think it was the last time he was in New York.
Yeah.
Actually. So, and also saw people on our listeners might not know this name, but saw Rob Fleischer. So video game PR guy extraordinaire that's been in the industry for quite a long time.
Pickle King.
Actually, the second time I've seen him in a month. because he and his family were up here in Halifax a few weeks back.
Look at that.
Well, so, but yeah, so Long Island Retro was the first time I'd ever gone. I went to be part of a panel, a Sega history panel, strangely enough, with fellow YouTuber G to the Next Level, who we had been chatting for a long time about trying to do something together. And a panel specifically, because that's kind of his thing. He goes from show to show doing panels and stuff like that. And so he said like he'd love to get together and do one. And for me, it was like, well, I don't really want to fly somewhere as far away as like Texas or something like that. So when he mentioned that he was going to Long Island Retro, I was like, well, that's pretty close to me. So yeah, drove down to Long Island from Nova Scotia. And it was a pretty cool show, I have to say. A really, really nice, like pretty compact little convention. It wasn't like super crowded. It was really busy, but it was in a museum called the Cradle of Aviation, Long Island, which in itself was a very cool venue. Just a bunch of historic planes and things like that.
Cool.
But yeah, like so got to go down there and met a couple other YouTubers that I big fans of, including Corey Carlson from My Life in Game. Actually, both Corey and Try from My Life in Gaming, there's another YouTube team that I've followed for years, and really enjoy watching and chatting with and things like that. So, but yeah, the panel was really cool. We went pretty long on it, but we were just sort of going through Sega's console history and kind of ran out of time. But the reason we ran out of time was because we had a lot of audience participation, a lot of people asking questions, a lot of people sort of offering their opinions and things like that, and including one in particular, which I really loved. So this was a retro game conference, which means that, you know, this is going to make me sound really old. You do see young people, but by young people, I mean like their 20s.
Yeah.
Right. You don't see a lot of kids. At least I wasn't seeing a lot of kids. And if I was, it was out like in the sort of just checking out the old games and stuff like that, not in the panels. But we had this one in our panel, we had this one guy there with his son. And his son, I would say probably between 10 and like 13 years old, somewhere in there. And he got up the courage because other people were putting their hands up and asking questions. He got up the courage to put his hand up and ask a question, which was about the Mega Drive, because he had heard of the Mega Drive, and he's sitting next to his dad, and he said something along the lines of like, "Can you tell me what the Mega Drive is? Because my dad says it's just the Genesis with a different name, but I don't know if I believe him." Right? And so.
That's great.
So we were saying like, you know, yeah, it is actually called the Mega Drive everywhere else, but here, so your dad's right. But he had follow-up questions. It was like, oh, so if I was to buy a Mega Drive, like, could I play it here? And would I have to have like the same plug? And, you know, we were telling him like you need adapters. It was just really cool because he was quite a young guy, and it was neat that he was asking these questions, that he was showing this interest. And like he could kind of, speaking as a father, and you guys would understand this too. I just, you know, you could tell his dad was really proud that he even put his hand up and asked the question. So it was very heartwarming.
That's great.
So his dad was right there?
Yeah, his dad was sitting right next to him.
So what you should have done is been like, oh no, your dad is completely wrong. The Mega Drive, far more powerful than the Genesis.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's got the word mega.
Yeah.
It's
Just to see the reaction on the dad's face.
Yeah. So anyway, but it was a cool show. I didn't buy a lot because I'm not really into game collecting, but there were two things that I grabbed. I didn't really need, but I kind of saw them and wanted. So I'm going to show these right here. So one of them is one of the Famicom Mini. Actually, it's the first Famicom Mini game for the Game Boy Advance. So people might remember, this was about 20 years ago, the Game Boy Advance. Over North America, they started releasing, were they just called NES Classics, I think, here?
I think so.
I believe so.
Which were just a series of cartridges that were literally just NES games.
Yeah.
On cartridges.
The boxes looked like kind of the black box design.
Right. But so the Famicom Mini, I'd seen pictures of the boxes, so I'm holding this up. So the Famicom Mini series was much bigger in Japan, but it's the same thing. It's where those NES classics were derived from.
Yeah.
And I think but they had more games in that series. Anyway, I saw this box and I thought it was so cool because I love the
cool,
golden and sort of, what is it? Not really red, but it's
The maroon.
maroon
Yeah.
color of the Famicom, and it's kind of neat because it's just this like plastic case, and then there's actually a little miniature Famicom style box holding the cartridge.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'm gonna get that. And at the same vendor,
Too cool.
he also had this vendor had some really cool stuff, but he also had sort of I guess kind of a grail for me, although there's not really been nothing to keep me from getting this. But I don't have a Famicom disk system, but I just love the aesthetic of the Famicom disk system games.
Definitely.
Right.
And so I grabbed a Zelda 2
Oh.
Famicom disk system game.
Just the loose disc?
you get it
or-
loose?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there it is.
There
Okay.
it is.
Yeah. So again, I'll never be able to play this because I don't intend on buying a Famicom disk system, although it would be a cool piece of hardware to have.
Yeah.
But I've always just wanted one of these because I just think they look so cool, and I
I
love,
do.
especially after I learned, I think it was on the Gaming Historian that I learned that the actual Nintendo branding on the disc is like a
Copy
what's the word?
protection.
a copy protection feature, which I had no idea was the case. But anyway, I was really excited to find these. Again, neither of these, like, I could play that GBA game, but I probably never will. I just love the way it looked. So I bought both of
Hell
these literally just to have them on my shelf. But yeah,
Nice.
I'm so happy to finally have a Famicom. And it's Zelda 2, which is like, one of my favorite Zelda games.
Hell
so,
yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah. So those are the only things I picked up. But all in all, it was a great trip. I was thinking I would definitely like to go back. And actually, I think that we, as a podcast, should talk about maybe going there or doing some other conference where we can do a live recording, because we haven't done that in quite a while.
Sounds
So I think
good.
it would go over well. And the other thing was, after that panel, I had some people come up to say hello and thank you and everything. And actually, we're talking about Player One Podcast, that they've been listening to
Aw.
Player One Podcast for quite a while. And I was stopped on the show floor a couple of times too by people who recognized my gigantic bald head and yeah, just said, wanted to let you know that I've been listening to the show for a long time. Love it.
That's awesome.
Did you apologize?
Well, no,
Oh, yeah. 'Cause that
So-
seems like
it's their choice to listen. And
That's
make them listen.
true.
Sure.
But all in all, yeah. Oh, and I saw my first Cybertruck while we were driving down there,
ooh.
and they're
I'm
uglier in
nice.
person.
My condolences to you.
Yeah,
They
boy.
are ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they're laughably unpleasant
yeah.
to look at.
And it should call out too that I went down. I met the Scoops, Scoop Joey, Scoop Jessica, friends of the show.
Oh, yes.
Sort of picked them up on the way down there, and we all went down there together and had a great time. And
Cool.
G was fantastic. It was really nice to meet him in person, and great to see some old friends. Great to meet some new friends. I loved it. It was I highly recommend it.
Well, it's
It's
over
a great
now.
little show. It's a great little show. Yeah, but it happens every year.
Oh.
Yeah, saw Jeremy Parrish down there as well, and Frank
Oh,
Frank
oh.
Cifaldi, and
Okay.
it was great.
Cool.
Very nice.
So that's what I've been doing.
All right. Well, I guess that means it's time for tweets.
A tweedly diddly dee. A tweedly diddly dee. A tweet, tweet. A tweet, tweet. Oh, yeah.
Let's do this one from hacker alias JCA Farley, who asks, will Star Wars Outlaws get a lower Metacritic score than 85?
I don't know. I haven't played it yet.
We haven't played it yet.
I haven't played it yet, but what do you think? Just from the trailers, just from the hype?
Do Metacritic scores matter anymore? Because it seems like they're
Of course
just used
not.
to prove a point at this point.
Of course.
It feels
right.
like the reviews are done based on whether the game is woke or whether
Yeah.
it's, I don't know.
I could
I
see
can't
it
stand
going
anymore.
the three ways.
Uh-huh.
It'll get better than an 85.
Yeah.
It'll get lower than 85, or it could
Might
get
just be an
exactly
85.
85.
85, yeah.
So
The fix is in.
Oh,
I'm gonna guess one of those three,
okay.
and you know what? Time will tell.
You're not gonna say which one?
Well, who can
Well, he just
say?
said he gave 3 options.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I
mean-
think it'll be lower than 85.
Do you?
Yeah, I think part of it though is that there's a little bit of a glut of Star Wars stuff, and people are there's a bit of a backlash
I
going
know
on
that
right
I am.
now against Star Wars stuff. And while I think this is going to be a good game, I could see it getting lower than any 85 just because there will be some people who are,
You think
jaded about
people are gonna
Star
be
Wars.
like,
yeah,
"Oh, that
I
Boba
do.
Fett show sucked, so I'm gonna take it out on this game"?
Yes.
Really?
No, I think they're going to be just
Absolutely, I
sick of
do.
Star Wars in general. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I
I
could
don't
see
know.
It,
It
being
looks
lower
like
than
it's gonna be
85.
good.
It looks like it's going to be great.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. It'll be exactly 85. There you go.
All right. All right. What do you think, Greg? What are you saying?
I think based on sort of it's gonna be lower than 85 because of it'll have nothing to do with the quality of the game.
Right. I have
It'll just
nothing to do
be-
with the
See,
quality.
I could
backlash
also
thing.
see it going because Star Wars televised content
Uh-huh.
has been subpar
Yeah.
since Andor season 1,
Yeah.
which is outstanding,
it absolutely is.
which
Yeah.
is arguably the second best Star Wars content that has been created.
It's true.
And if you were to tell me you thought it was the best, I wouldn't argue with you.
Hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't argue anyway because I don't give a rat's ass what anyone else thinks of Star Wars. But
Yeah.
Star Wars televised content has been, let's say, lackluster lately. And
There's been too much of it.
perhaps as a result of that, if suddenly a game came out that was fun and kind of reminded us, oh, hey, Star Wars can be fun,
Yep.
people might lean into it a little more because of that.
Well, I hope so. I hope that's the case. It could go that way, but I'm saying lower.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It looks good. I'm going to play it.
There you go.
Although I will say, and I already told you lads this
Yeah.
in our Slack chat. The problem is Star Wars Outlaws comes out a week later. Astrobot comes out.
Yeah.
If you're Phil and I am,
Yeah, we checked.
Astrobot.
He's not lying.
no.
Yep.
He is.
These
Phil.
guys have known me for a while, so they
Yep.
know that is truthful.
Yeah.
Astrobot takes precedence over all others.
Definitely. That's
And
the
I
only
also know
reason
that
why
there's
you
no way I'm
finished
going to be
Like
able
a
to finish
Dragon.
Star Wars Outlaws in a week.
That's the only reason you finished Infinite Wealth is because Astrobot is coming.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta get this done before Astrobot shows up. So I am personally not going to start playing Outlaws because I don't want to get 15 hours or whatever into Outlaws and then have to put it down.
Yeah. Well, also
Or
you
Astrobot.
want to you want to wait for the day 1 patch, the day 30 patch, the day 60 patch, the quality of life improvements that Ubisoft will undoubtedly bring to the game post launch.
I'm going to wait until the day I finish Astrobot patch
Okay,
before I start Outlaws.
I see.
Because if I get several hours into it and then put it down for Astrobot,
Yeah.
I'm going to fall into that trap like CJ in Infinite Wealth
Well, yeah.
where I will never come back to it.
The problem, there's too many great games coming out.
Too many
this
great games.
year. There's too
Too
much.
many great games.
Too much to play
Yeah.
this fall. It's
Yep.
crazy.
But I am excited for Outlaws. It looks like it could be a lot of fun. And I am,
It does.
as I've talked about on the show before,
The
I'm a
launch
sucker
trailer
for a
is
good
very
Star
good.
Wars game. I'm a sucker
Good.
for a mediocre Star Wars game. So
There you go.
I mean, I played through both Force
So it's
Unleashed.
win-win.
And you played through Jedi
I
Fallen
played through
Order,
both of the Jedi
Survivor.
Survivor and
The
was the other one
two
just called Jedi
Fallen Order. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what the games are called. It's all a big
You
mishmash.
just enjoyed it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's do this one from hacker alias Mudron, who says,
I know him.
how tempted are you guys by pre-ordering a game for early access? I just saw that Star Wars Outlaws will be playable on Monday night, but only
Oh.
for dipshits like me who stupidly pre-ordered the $100 plus version.
Yeah, it is absolutely zero impact on me.
Zero impact on you. It has
Yeah.
some impact on me.
Yeah.
I mean, because there wouldn't be a week before Astrobot. It would be a week and 3 days.
Oh,
So
that's approximately a week and a half.
I could finish it in that time.
Could you?
Yeah. Will you?
Well, didn't the director of Star Wars Outlaws said you could finish the game in 20 hours?
Isn't
Oh,
that
really?
critical pathing it?
It might be.
See, I don't want it. That's not how I want to play that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to play that game that way either.
Yeah.
I want to take my time with it.
Yes.
But it feels like you can't this fall. There's just too much stuff. Oh, but anyway, yeah, how do I feel about pre-ordering for early access? I actually don't mind it. I think it's fine, generally.
I wouldn't mind if the act of pre-ordering it gave you early access. I don't
Yeah.
want to pay for early access.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, the
that's
problem is that video games
stupid.
got increasingly expensive and companies have to make their budgets
Yeah.
back
No, I get it.
somehow.
I'm just,
Yeah,
it's not
so-
something that I find,
Desirable.
yeah, I don't want to spend money on that. I don't want to spend money on the 3 days that I'll get to play it
Yeah.
before other people because I don't care about being able to play it before other people.
I believe I did.
I mean, if you could pay $20 extra and play Astrobot 3 days beforehand, would you?
Oh, I would.
I would.
I would too. I did. What was it? The first Hot Wheels game
Yeah.
when that came out,
Hot Wheels Unleashed.
which I loved.
I remember you. Yeah,
I
being
really
really
got into Hot Wheels Unleashed
Yeah.
a lot.
Good game.
It was a good game. I was interested in it, and I got interested in it very late, like right as it was coming out. I was like, you know what, this game looks kind of fun. I think I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
And I was going to order the physical version because I'm still buying physical games. Just, in my collector mentality. But I saw that it was one of those things that was like, okay, well, the physical one comes out in like 3 days. But then I looked on like the PlayStation store and it was like, oh, I could buy it digitally. And it was like available now. Like, if you buy the digital version
You can play now.
and get the deluxe edition or whatever it was, it's like, yeah, you could start playing it today. And I was like, okay,
You got me.
you got me. I'm thinking about it. I'm in the mood. Here's my money. Let me download it and start playing. And I did. And I was happy to be able to do it.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a game you really want to play,
Yeah.
and it's only an extra whatever to
Yeah.
to play it early, then yeah, sure.
And you know
no.
what? I would potentially be doing that with Star Wars, but again, I also bought the physical copy of Star Wars and I ordered it from Target because they have the exclusive Steelbook version, and I want to get the Steelbook version.
Of course.
And I did get my shipping notice. It is on its way.
I
So
see. Okay. All right.
please look forward to that.
Well, let's wrap up with this one from hacker alias Cheap Cheapo, who says, "What's a Simpsons quote or moment that you think about on a regular basis?"
Oh my god.
I have one for this.
When Bart says, "I carumba."
You steam a good ham.
Is the episode when they go into the witness protection program
Yeah.
and they're
Is this
trying to
talking
get
to you? I
Yeah.
think he's talking to
I
you.
think he's talking to
When
you.
I stomp on your foot,
You smile
I,
and nod.
Oh,
I think probably the faster Sonny's got a taste for meat now.
Oh yeah.
I probably use that about once a month, for no good reason. I mean, there's so many, but
so many.
or like when they look into Shelbyville, they will know that they suck or something.
No, not in my
that
mouth.
episode. That episode
is
in
what that
general
kid would say.
That episode in general is. I mean,
The Lemon
from
Tree
an era
episode
where almost every week was a classic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That episode is a classic.
Yes.
So true.
Yes,
so
it is.
much good stuff in that episode. Yeah, faster son, he's got a taste for meat now.
Shake harder, boy.
Shake harder, boy.
Seems
Oh my
like
God.
Springfield's got a discipline problem.
It's quiet, everyone. An old man's talking. So
That
good.
whole
whole
Lemon Tree.
thing.
Lemon Tree is my favorite
Lemon Tree
episode.
is a great episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lemon of Troy, to use the
Lemon of
proper
Troy.
episode title.
All right.
Oh my
that
God.
that where we're leaving it? I think so.
I guess we are.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on the Twitters or X or Threads or Blue Sky, wherever you
X don't
think.
give it to you.
Wherever you think you can leave that. You can leave that on one of those services because we're there. We're there for you. Or we have an internet website, player1podcast.com. That's where you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Stewart. You'll find Generation 16 episodes there as well. And you'll find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about on this very episode, and a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtube.com/P1 Podcast, or you can watch us live most weeks on, the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the Twitch, televisions, all over the dang place. Just follow one of our many social media accounts to find out when we are doing our next live show. Typically, not today, but typically
Yeah.
we record at 5:30 specific time on Sunday evenings.
True.
Not tonight. I stress to you right now, if you are listening to this live, it is not Sunday. It is Saturday. You don't have to work tomorrow.
Well, some people might.
Unless you work on Sundays.
Yeah.
But if you're doing the Monday through Friday grind, don't go to work tomorrow. People are going to be very confused.
It's true.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, if you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. Sending Greg to Long Island ain't cheap. He demands first class travel. He demands access to all of Long Island's finest restaurants.
I only drink the finest wines and eat the sweetest meats.
Exactly. Only the toppest of the tier for our Greg. And that would be impossible without your Patreon support.
It's true.
You know what? Your Patreon dollars, of course, go to help support our show, keep us streaming and all that stuff. So we do appreciate it. I'll tell you what, friendos, we appreciate it so much that we give something back to you each and every week. Did we do it last week and the week before, CJ?
Yes.
Did we have after shows? We had after shows.
We did.
Even when we, geez Louise, what a treat.
Yeah.
We do a special bonus episode that we record right after this where we play games, we crack wines, we have fun doing all the stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ,
Yes.
don't we have a game this week?
We do have a
Oh,
game
goodness
this
gracious.
week.
What is it?
It is a potent lyricals game, a Jeopardy game from Zach Miller.
A potent?
Do you remember the
How does this go? Explain this.
It's been several years since he sent us a potent lyricals game.
How does this
and-
work?
Well, we'll just have to. We'll see together.
Okay,
you'll
we'll find out.
remember it, I'm sure, as we go.
Join us, won't you?
Yeah.
And that you gain access to that for the low Patreon price of just $5.
Yeah.
Cheap.
For the low price of just $5.
Cheap.
He was out of practice.
It's been.
You'll notice
3 weeks.
I have this script memorized. I've been
I-
gone
I-
for 3
if-
weeks. I'm still.
If you listen to the last 2 episodes, even I had your script memorized.
There we go.
Yeah.
I
There
don't.
we go.
Hmm.
I'll tell you what, if you have a couple bucks left over, why don't you pay yourself a visit to patreon.com/Greg Seward to help support Greg's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up, virtually identical in all ways to the Mega Drive,
It's true.
the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Phil. And if you are a patron, a subscriber of the $5 variety,
Also cheap.
I haven't heard from you in a while, Satan.
Well, I've been out of town.
Yeah.
I've been visiting. Have you heard of this Hawaii?
Hawaii.
Hawaii. It is a
Heard of it.
chain of
I think
islands.
there was a video game that was that took place there.
Oh
recently.
yes. You,
Yeah.
of course, are thinking of DuckTales for the
Yes.
NES
Yes.
at a Hawaii level.
Yep.
Where you fought Yetis. Wildly out of place. Yetis.
I mean, aren't they always wildly out of place?
Well, not in
Where are
the
Yetis wildly in place?
not in the Himalayas. That's where Yetis belong.
All right.
Surely you know that. Greg.
You get access to the weekly commute, or as I like to call it this month, the monthly commute,
Oh, I see.
because I've been so effing busy this month, where I talk about what I've been working on. I play games, I crack wise, I do all the stuff I can't do on Generation 16.
There you go.
But it does go to help me keep the show running. So please consider supporting the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, is that it?
That's it.
Is that it?
Yep.
CJ,
Yeah.
it's lovely to be back. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Phil.
Hey, your Super Pac-Man sign behind you, is that askew?
Probably
It is a little
Looks like you
askew.
need to straighten that a bit.
I'll work on it. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Fix
every
yourself-
time he laughs, the room
Okay.
shakes.
Yeah, that's the
So-
problem. There it goes.
Yes,
Oh my
it's-
goodness.
There we go again.
yeah. It's my
Yeah, get-
desk.
You know, your phone, I know you have an internet phone, an Apple internet phone.
Yes.
Those have a level built into them. You can just load up your level app
Yes.
and
Yes.
that'll help you.
Except
Okay.
the little bumps for the buttons on the sides make it so that you can't actually make the phone level.
Oh,
It won't be
geez.
level,
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
means it's just all a big lie.
Get yourself an actual level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just buy a level.
Just go buy
Jesus.
a level. They're not
You don't
expensive.
need to use your
Fine.
damn iPhone for absolutely everything.
You may
Just buy
have,
a level.
if you have a little toolkit out in your garage, maybe you got a little level in there.
CJ, do you have a garage?
Yes.
Do you have a toolkit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you might have a
Alright.
level.
All right.
You'll know because it's got little tubes with bubbles in them.
And it's
I
called
am
a level.
aware. I am aware
Yeah.
of that. Yes.
If you find some tubes with bubbles in them,
Make sure it's a level.
yeah. And no,
Could be other
not
things.
Okay.
not one of your bongs, CJ. Not one of your many bongs.
Bong.
Clearly.
That's a different.
Oh.
Okay.
That takes you to a different level.
Oh yeah, a higher level, man.
Can you take me higher?
Gregory,
Yo.
thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
Always good to see you.
I'm real tired.
Well, then we'll get you to bed.
Okay.
Yes.
And of course, a big old thank you to you, our wonderful, wonderful listeners, every single darned one of you. Remember, as always, take care of yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself, my friend. You deserve it. And we hope, beyond hope, to see you next week. Goodbye and good luck.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.